Hello and welcome to Keele University, and thank you for joining us for our first clearing webinar of 2024. I'm Tom from the communications team, and thank you for joining us. We'll be answering all your questions relating to clearing, so if you've got any, please do use the chat function, pop them in there, and I can ask it to one of my two guests today, which are Andy and Sam from the Global Student Recruitment and Admissions team. So do you guys want to introduce yourself, Andy, first?
Yeah, hi Tom. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, we're here to talk to you all about clearing. We're aware clearing opens in a couple of days, so to answer any questions you have at this stage. In my team, we look after all of our undergraduate student recruitment and access work, so working with students looking to apply to and consider applying to university. So that's where we fit in. And over to you, Sam.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Sam, and yeah, similarly working with Andy on everything to do with clearing so far. My team looks after a lot of the marketing and communications, so any emails you might get from Keele, but lots of information on the website as well that we look after. So yeah, we'll be updating that this week. Talk about that more a little bit later on.
Amazing. So as we say, we'll be live for about half an hour or so, answering any questions that you've got. So do make use of both Sam and Andy today. If you've got a question, pop it in the chat and I can ask it at the end of our first section, where we'll just kind of get through what the basics of clearing are. So I guess let's start really basic with, what is clearing?
Yeah, and it's a really good question because a lot of time people aren't always entirely sure what clearing is. You'll hear about it, but you won't be entirely sure what this word is that crops up at the end of sometimes your university application process. So clearing is a really changed process over the last few years, and it's there as an additional opportunity for students to find university places. One thing that is very different is the type of students who are using clearing nowadays. So we tend to see three main reasons why someone might use clearing. First of all, if you don't get the grades that you thought you might, clearing can be a good option to find additional university places as well. It's a good chance for you to reconsider your options. So say you wanted to do something in business, but you're actually now more thinking psychology. Can you change and move course around slightly if you weren't quite sure? Or if you weren't considering going to university and now you want to change your mind, you can use clearing again as an additional opportunity to apply for a university place. So those are the three main reasons why someone might be in clearing. We mention results all the time, don't we? Having your results and using that as a way to get in through clearing. We always say this process does differ from the rest of the UCAS process. So if you applied to university already, you'd have used predicted grades. Now it's only when you have your confirmed grades and results. That's what you need to be able to apply to us in clearing. The difference as well then, if you've got your confirmed grades, is universities, we can make quite quick decisions, can't we, around your next steps. So if you can get in touch with us, you've got your grades together, you can call universities quite quickly, and we'll be able to tell you what we're looking for students coming onto our courses. We tend to know what those numbers are going to be really kind of finitely and down to the ones and twos once we hit that clearing process. So if you want to apply for a course, get those results, apply through us by phone, email, online web forms as well, and we'll be able to tell you quite quickly whether we can make a decision.
Fantastic. And so if you are then considering applying, is there anything you can do to prepare if you're thinking of applying to Keele through clearing?
Yeah, there's lots you can be doing. If you're considering clearing in general, there's lots of things you can do. One, you can come to sessions like this. So it's a great way to find out lots more about your options and what you can be doing. I think it's always good to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C and a plan D, maybe a plan E as well. It's always good to be considering the variety of options that might happen. Obviously, what we hope will happen is that you get the results that you want to get and then you get onto the university course that you want to go to. Or if you do then get the results or want to change your mind, then you can do that as well. So we hope it's always a positive experience for you if you're in that position. I think the first thing to start doing is start looking at university websites, looking at what kind of courses will be available. Our vacancies will all go live on Friday, the 5th of July, so you'll be able to see what vacancies we'll have here at Keele. Then kind of have a look at the range of courses that might be available to you. So sometimes there might be different courses that might be a different option to what you initially applied for that could be a good fit for you in clearing as well. So things like if you're thinking pharmacy, but you're not quite thinking you want to be a pharmacist anymore, but you're still interested in sciences, things like pharmaceutical science, bioengineering, they could be really good options for you as well. We always say as well, try not to be on holiday, as a kind of a top tip really. We've had stories of people on a poolside in Ibiza waiting for a phone call from university. I mean, fine if you've got access to all of your grades while you're there, but it doesn't normally mean you have the stress-free element of the day that you want to have. So if you can try and be in the UK, I'd say that's the main thing to try and do. Be available and just be prepared for a range of different scenarios. But getting that research in early is always the best thing I think you can do.
So be somewhere that you're connected and can talk to people.
Yeah, and hopefully have your support network around you, whatever that looks like, wherever you are in the world. Having access to people you can kind of have good conversations with is really key too.
And this kind of moves on to the next question as well. But if you have got something booked and you're going away somewhere, is there anything you should take with you that you've got? So you've got any information that you might need on the day that you can take with you if you are away?
Absolutely. There's always two things that we say that are really, really important. One, where your UCAS application is up to, and also those confirmed results. Those are the absolute key things that you're going to need when it comes to results day. So if we fast forward to kind of once you know you may be in clearing, this could be from Friday, but it could be from any point from Friday all the way through right till into September, October. For the majority of students, it'll be in the middle of August where you'll be considering going into clearing, but it is from Friday where clearing vacancies will be open at universities. So two things you'll need are your UCAS application. Where is that up to? We always use your UCAS personal ID number as the main way to look up your record and make sure we can get all the information we need to verify about you, but also those confirmed results. Now what you could do is you could ring us on Friday without one of those two things, but it means we can't help you in that scenario. So that's why it's always best to wait till you've got the two things with you, and then you can make the best decision you can get the best information you can as well. So I think that's really key for us. Universities often can't make decisions without them, and schools and colleges can't guide you as well. So I think we'd probably be quite a friendly bunch as well. So if you did want to ring us and just ask a question and you weren't sure about the process, you could do that. But in terms of making offers to students for places, you would need those two things, the UCAS application or results. We did mention that you can apply first time through clearing as well. So if you haven't got a UCAS application, that's okay. But again, we'll need those results to be able to do things. We can then sort the UCAS bit out afterwards from a university side. But the best position to be in is if you can ring us up with the information you need, and we've got that through UCAS and we've got those results, which I'm going to say a million times today about having those confirmed results. That's what helps us make quick decisions.
There's a lot going on this week then with the 4th and 5th of July. So the 5th of July is when clearing opens.
Yes.
Yep. There'll be a lot of other stuff happening that day as well, I'm guessing.
I'm sure.
Across the UK. But more importantly for us, that is when clear officially opens. But let's go to the day of clearing then. So if you're applying for a place on the 15th of August, which is results day when most people will get their A-level results, what should you do on that day?
So the first thing is hopefully you've already got your plan A, B, C, D and D all in place and ready to go. The best thing to do is then work out what works best for you in terms of contacting university options that might be the right fit for you. So that can be by phone, it could be via web forms, it could be WhatsApp live chats. Universities have got lots of different ways of doing it. We always find phone calls work really, really well for us. I think the benefit of a phone call, and I know we often don't like it, I'm as guilty as anyone, I don't like ringing people if I don't have to, but it means we can have a really good conversation with you about your options and we can ask any questions that we need to quickly. So if we need to find out anything additional, we can just ask you there and then. If you email us in, it takes time for a response, it takes time for you to respond, but it helps us do everything a bit quicker. But it also means you can ask any questions that you want to as well. So in case you were looking at economics and now you're thinking in accounting, but you're not quite sure what the difference between the two might be, we'll have people who can help you with navigate that journey really. So this will be true from the 5th of July, the same as it will on the 15th of August. If you've got your results, you can give us a call. I'd say that would be what we would recommend. You say you can email us, you can use on that online form as well. But if you give us a call and we'll be able to talk through your options, the different courses we have available and your results and what might be the best fit for you. So those are the best things to do from our side. Lots of universities will be different. There'll be different ways of contacting them and working with them. So have a look.
Yeah, I would just say in terms of, you know, for the people who are like getting their results on the 15th of August, this is, I think, sometimes people are not sure what it might mean, you know, when they go into UCAS Hub and they see kind of like whether the place has been confirmed or not, and you know, they've got also maybe an email from their school or college, and then they might have something that's come through from like a university saying congratulations on their place. What would you say, and kind of what do you check first, and then maybe like a little guide in terms of what that all means in terms of, you know, maybe you didn't get one of the grades that you were as one of your conditions, you still might have your place confirmed, mightn't you? But you might have an adjusted offer. So I just want to run through a couple of those bits.
Yeah, it's a really good point, and it can be quite confusing, can't it, when you get different results coming through. So one of the things that you might see when you go onto a UCAS Hub and look at your application is you might see a different course in there to what you initially applied to, or you might see you have been accepted without the grades that you were being asked for. What we do is we'll work through your grades and results so we can make the best decision that we can. This is where we kind of view the applications all holistically. So we've all got your personal statements, we've got your reference, we know lots of contextual information about our applicants, and then we can make decisions that we think that if you're still a good fit for the course, but you've perhaps missed by a grade, we might still be able to offer and confirm that place for you. So I'd always say that decision on UCAS is the guiding decision that the university has made, so that's the one to go with, but your results may not look like what the initial results were that we were asking for. That's okay, and again, if you're not sure at any point, just call that university and get confirmation. That's what we'd always recommend. If you've got an offer sat there and it's confirmed, don't do anything unless you're 100% certain. One thing you can do if you want to change your mind is release yourself into clearing and decline those offers. So you can do that even though you have secured a place at your university of choice. If you want to decline it, you can, and that's up to you. But we would always say make sure you do that really confidently, because overturning it is really, really difficult. So if you want to go to another university, I'd always say keep your choice, call up other universities or speak to them however you want to do that, get your offers in place, and then decline any other options that you have. I think that's always the safest way to be. Keep as many options open as you can, and then you can make your decisions from there. But yeah, your UCAS choice might look slightly different from what your results are telling you. The UCAS choice will be right. If you're not sure about it, just call the university to talk it through.
Yeah, and hopefully kind of like schools and colleges are giving this guidance as well in terms of what it all means. You know, everybody's going to be, has made a firm choice, and then they've got an insurance choice. So you're in a number of scenarios in terms of if you get all of the grades that you have had as your conditions for your firm choice, you should see, you know, that it's confirmed. There you are, you're going to that firm choice. That's your first sort of option. You might have missed a grade, and you might still be confirmed at your firm choice, your first choice. You might have missed a grade and then you're not confirmed at your firm choice, then you might be confirmed at your insurance choice, and so on and so on. So it'll all be there in UCAS to be able to see that. But yeah, any uncertainties, you can always like give us a call, give the universities a call to check on things.
Brilliant. So you mentioned there that there's a variety of courses on offer. Are all courses available through Clearing? Are the places on every course that we've got? How does that work? What's on offer?
So it's all going to get published on Friday when Clearing opens. It'll be on our website. You go to keele.ac.uk/clearing. It's all linked to from there, and the vacancies will all be listed. The vacancies are listed along with the entry requirements. So it's stated in kind of UCAS points. And if there are any subject-specific requirements, there's a separate page which will list what the subject-specific requirements are for any given course. We'll have spaces in lots of our courses, you know, have some spaces available. There might be some when we announce vacancies on Friday that might be full or have a waiting list, or maybe very limited number of places available. I can say with certainty at this point, we won't have places in medicine through Clearing, but for everything else, I would take a look at the website on Friday, and then going forwards, as we sort of move from the 5th of July through to the 15th of August, that website's going to be the place that we update with any courses that get full, or that have, you know, go into a waiting list, and that then gets updated throughout the day as well on the 15th of August. So as, you know, people are kind of finding those places, more and more things kind of fill up. So I think that's a good sort of tip, is if you can get those calls in early, get your applications in early on, because yes, some courses will sort of fill up quite quickly throughout the day.
And is there a waiting list for all courses, or does that vary based on the course?
It varies. Obviously, there are certain courses that have got limits in terms of the number of students they can take onto that course, and that's for a variety of reasons. Typically, it's to do with perhaps sort of like placement opportunities or capacity within certain like lab spaces, that kind of thing. So yeah, every university will have those sorts of the limits onto certain courses.
And obviously, it might be quite scary to some people that you could end up coming to university that you've not done any research on, never seen, never actually stepped foot on. So hopefully a lot of people may have come to Keele before who are potentially looking at it through Clearing. But if you haven't, so if Keele's completely new to you and you're going to potentially apply through Clearing or on the day, or you get to the 15th and you go, actually, I do want to apply to Keele and I've not done any research. What's the best way to find out what Keele is like, what we've got on offer? How can you find out more about Keele?
So I love a plug of the website, and I was like, have a look at the website. But the website's got loads and loads of information on it, particularly kind of our study undergraduate pages. So you can have a nose around there. There's a virtual tour online as well if you wanted to have a look. But there is an open day on the Saturday that's after results day on the 17th of August. So if you can get to that, highly recommend it. Great way to kind of see the campus. You can have a look around. You can meet some of the academics. We have students that come to us through Clearing every year, and they some of them have got have perhaps been here before, have considered us maybe like earlier on as part of their university consideration process, but some come and they haven't been to us before, and so they are welcomed and part of the community very, very quickly. If you can get to an open day, that's great. We have also got some tours that will be happening during days after the results day as well. So if you can't get there for the full Saturday open day, things like that you can do. And all that information will go on the website as well in terms of what those events are. You'll be able to have a look around the academic buildings, the whole of campus. If you've not been to Keele before, it's a massive 600-acre campus, so there's lots and lots of stuff to see and do. And also have accommodation open on the Saturday as well.
Brilliant. So another reason to not be away over Clearing.
Lights
We haven't been moving enough. Whilst you had this, so you did mention accommodation there. How does that work? Obviously, people have been applying for accommodation throughout the kind of application cycle. Are they full? What happens if you want to come through Clearing? Where can you stay? And how do you go about getting your accommodation sorted? Whilst I then now go and walk around the room.
Do you wave our arms around?
Bring the light back.
So obviously, people have applied for accommodation. There we go. Throughout the cycle, we always have a certain number of rooms that we basically save for people who are going to be joining us through Clearing. So there will be some rooms available. It'll be fairly limited, but there will be some rooms available. So the process is you make your application on results day, let's say, through Clearing. Once you've then accepted that offer on results day, you have to wait about 48 hours normally to be able to apply for accommodation if you'd like to apply for some accommodation. That's just time for your application to come into our systems and go through the records so that you can then be set up to be able to apply for the accommodation. So the accommodation team are on hand. They'll be able to answer questions and things as well if you've got them. There's lots of information on our website as well about how to apply for accommodation through Clearing, and that's linked to from the Clearing pages. So take a look at that if you're interested in that. If it is that there isn't any accommodation left on campus, the accommodation team will support you in finding accommodation off campus. We've got a kind of accommodation portal to help people find accommodation in the local area. So they guarantee that they will help you to sort of find your accommodation that way as well.
Brilliant. So plenty of accommodation, options available to you if you are joining us through Clearing.
Yeah, we've got like 2,700 bedrooms on campus. Lots of our first years live on campus, and lots of people who join us through Clearing will end up living on campus as well. And then, lots of accommodation in the local area, kind of supported by the accommodation team to find those places as well. And I believe if you do end up living off campus and you'd wanted to live on campus and we couldn't find you a room on campus, I think you get a free bus pass.
Wow. You think? So we should check the website.
Check the website details. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's still on there.
Yeah. Great, thank you both for that. So we're going to move on now to some of the questions that we've had pre-submitted before we went live. If you do have any questions now, it's your chance to put them to both Sam and Andy. So drop them in the chat, and I can ask them just after we've asked our pre-submitted questions. So the first one we've had is we've had some questions around what happens if you don't get the grades that you're predicted. So you kind of mentioned there that your UCAS could look a variety of ways on the morning of results day. What do you do if it doesn't look how you're expecting?
Don't panic, I would say, first of all. Yeah, try. It's a bit easy for me to say, but yeah, try not to panic. If you looking at, if you didn't get the grades that you were hoping for, there's going to be lots of options open to you. It might be that even if you've missed a grade, like we touched on earlier, it might be that you still have your first choice university place confirmed. It could be that your insurance choice university place is confirmed. And if it is the situation where you haven't got the grades for either your firm or your insurance, then you may find that there are options available for you. And this is your opportunity in clearing to find that place at the right university for you. That's got some spaces at the entry requirements that you've got.
Yeah, and hopefully if you've planned, I know we've sort of laboured that point a little bit, but if you've got it all planned out and you know what the options are available to you, that helps, that should alleviate some of that panic, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's, again, using what can feel like really confusing between the grades and the UCAS decision, but knowing that UCAS decision is the guide, despite what your grades might tell you a different story, but the UCAS one is the story. And then if that looks different to what you're expecting, that's when you might want to call and check with individual universities.
Yeah. And obviously, for us, we publish on our website before results day what our entry requirements are going to be for our courses that we've got vacancies for in clearing. So, if you're doing your homework in advance and you're kind of, looking and seeing, right, okay, so, this is maybe like one of my plans, you'll be able to sort of plan that out in terms of the scenarios of, well, if I get this and then I get that, am I going to meet what I need to find that place in clearing? So not every university will have that on their website in terms of the actual entry requirements for those clearing places, but ours will all be on there on Friday.
Brilliant. And clearing, I think it's an interesting one. If I think back to when I was going to university, it was, I didn't know much about, a couple of years ago. I didn't really know much about clearing, what it was, how it worked. But I think now it's evolved a hell of a lot, and it's actually a useful thing for both universities and also for students who are applying for universities as well. If you're worried, if you were like me and haven't heard much about clearing, and you're potentially going to go through that process, will you be alone when you come to campus? How many students do actually end up going to university through clearing?
It's an awful lot. Yeah. It's an awful lot, and many more than you would think. So, and the real change is the number of students who are disappointed through clearing as well. Actually, that is now one of the smallest proportions. So under half of the students who go through clearing on a national level are students who haven't quite got the grades that they wanted. So it's still a good number. But it's also lots of other different types of students as well. So people are using clearing in different ways. It has really changed in terms of how people are using it. In terms of exact numbers, it varies for us year to year, but we take lots of students through clearing, and we're really set up for it as well. We know that students are going to come through clearing to Keele all the time, and lots of universities do too. So we're all ready to give you all the information that you need to help you join with us. You won't miss out on any of the information that other students are getting. And when you're here, there's no special badge or tie that you wear for going through clearing. You don't need to tell anyone if you don't want to. You will just feel part of the Keele community right from day one, with the same information treatment as all the other students that we have here at the university.
I think the only special treatment you get is if you come to the open day. Just after results day.
And then you will feel special and well looked after.
Because if you've never been to us before and you come to us on that open day and you say, no, I'm not thinking about next year, I'm thinking about like in a month's time, I think you get a special wristband and maybe donuts.
Special wristband.
But check the website, of course.
And a donut. You're promising a lot here, Sam. So finally, so that's great. That's kind of everything we've I feel like we've uncovered all the stones related to clearing, really. But if you do have any more questions, they can either, I'm guessing, get in touch with the admissions team.
Yeah, so take a look at the website. I would say is my first piece of advice. That's keele.ac.uk/clearing. And more information will be available on that as we get closer and closer to results day. You can register for updates on that website as well. So we'll then send you, a few emails with kind of top tips, what you kind of need to do. And as we get sort of close to results day, there'll be a bit more information going out about that as well and what happens on results day. And then we'll have another of these live streams a little bit close to results day as well. And we'll get a little bit into more of like, well, what about this and what if that and what about the entry requirements for this, and a little bit more of the detail there as well.
Brilliant. So finally then, if you are thinking of coming to Keele, what is your top tip or piece of advice that you could give to someone? Let's start with Andy.
I would say think about different ways of engaging with your university options and make sure you know what they are, and make sure you know how you want to approach the clearing process. It'll be totally different for everyone, and you want to do things in different ways, and that's why we create a variety of ways to engage with us. The only thing, I know you said one top tip, but I would also say making sure you have your results. And we can't say that enough, but what we want to be able to do is provide you with the best kind of contact we possibly can, and really help you along that journey. If you've got your results, we can do that. If you haven't, we can't. We could still have a quick conversation with you about your options, but we can't action anything without those results. So for example, students getting IB results on Friday, you guys could give us a call, because you'll have those and we'll be able to actually make quick decisions for you there and then. So that would be an example of someone who could get in touch with us relatively early on.
Yeah, and I would add to that, because I've not mentioned it yet, that they can call us on Friday between 10 and 4. There'll be the kind of standard call centre kind of opening time to speak to our admissions team from Friday through to kind of where we get closer to results day. On results day, opening times are extended by quite a bit, and then the weekend after that as well. But again, all those contact details are on the website and you'll be able to see those opening times as well. But yeah, if you've got your results on Friday and you want to make an application, then you can do. The form will be available and you'll be able to call people and speak to the admissions team as well.
Thanks for that really short, sweet one piece of advice there.
I didn't even give one piece of advice. In terms of, if you're thinking about coming to Keele through clearing you've not been before, if you can come to the open day, I think that'd be a great opportunity for you to really get a feel for the campus and what we're like, as a university. If you can't come to the open day, second best thing, and I say this every web stream we do, take a look at the website. There's lots and lots of information on the website. There's going to be all the entry requirements and all the vacancies for clearing published on there on Friday. So yeah, have a look at that.
So like a politician at a debate, let's just give our talking points one last plug. So we've got check the website, have your results, open day on the 16th.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Have those plans.
Have your plans, and the website goes live on Friday, the 5th of July.
Yeah.
So if you are interested or need any more information about clearing, you can head to our website, as Sam said, keele.ac.uk/clearing, and you should be able to branch off to all of the different areas from there, including accommodation, looking at what courses we have available and numbers left on, places on the courses that are available, things like that. So keele.ac.uk/clearing, and that goes live on Friday. Thank you both. That's been wonderful. We'll leave it there. And we'll see you. Do you know the date of our next one?
I think it's the 13th.
13th of August.
If you go to, after this stream ends, if you go to youtube.com/Keele University /live, you'll see our next live stream there. Thank you both. It's been a pleasure. And we hope to see you on campus soon.